Chapter 4256. Hearing Professor Lu's words, Lin Ya's expression became even more subtle. Old Lu, drink the coconut juice first. I'll tell you the rest of what you want to know. I swear. Seeing Lin Ya's promise and serious expression, Professor Lu nodded. In the end, he drank the coconut juice that he knew had been spiked. The coconut juice still tasted good. It was his favorite taste. But he also knew that Lin Ya had done something to it. But what does that matter? Whatever Lin Ya wanted to do, just let her be. After drinking the coconut juice, Professor Lu was in a daze. Is it good? After he finished speaking, Professor Lu fell onto the sofa and fainted. Master, the professor was so easy to deal with? What are we afraid of? One of her subordinates walked over smugly. What do you know? He knew I spiked it, but he still drank it. Lin Ya's expression was still very subtle. No one knew what she was thinking. Master, you're right. What should we do next? Take him to the plane and go back. Lin Ya appeared immediately and took Professor Lu away. Huamin didn't know about this. Locked in that room, she was extremely anxious. The baby in her belly was due a long time ago, but there was no sign of it. She didn't know why. Even an experienced obstetrician like her was confused. Huamin paced back and forth in the room, extremely anxious. When Messiah came in to deliver lunch, she pulled Messiah aside. Miss Mian, what's wrong? Messiah, I want to see her. I want to see Lin Ya. Master is out now. She's not here. She's not here? Then, can I see Yen? Hearing this, Messiah fell silent. From Huamin's conversation with Lin Ya, he not only learned that Lu Yen was the child of Lin Ya's clone, but also that Lu Yen was imprisoned here like him. Messiah, I'm begging you. I'm so worried about her. I want to see Yen. I'll be relieved if I see her. Otherwise, I'll be thinking too much. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Messiah finally nodded. This made Huamin extremely happy. She carefully followed Messiah through one white room after another, walking back and forth in the labyrinth. Finally, they arrived at a secret chamber. It was also a crystal coffin in a white room. Lu Yen lay there quietly. Little Yen. Lu Yen rushed over but was stopped by the transparent glass. Xiao Yen, what's wrong? Huamin's tears streamed down his face. Miss Mian, calm down. You're pregnant, Messiah comforted her. Messiah, is Yen dead? Why is she lying in a coffin? How could Huamin not be agitated? He remembered that Huasiqian was blown into pieces, but the clone was lying in a crystal coffin. With just one order from Lin Ya, she could wake up and come back to life. Was that scary or sad? Miss Mian, calm down. Miss Yen isn't dead. She just went into hibernation. Hibernation? Huamin was confused. Yes. During the battle in Yunnan, Miss Yen and Miss Layla fought in close combat and were severely injured. After the master brought her back with you, she was frozen by the master. Now she's in hibernation and her life isn't in danger. But, why did Lin Ya freeze her? Huamin frowned angrily. Miss Mian, you know that Miss Yen isn't the master's daughter. She's the daughter of the clone, Messiah explained. But she's also my father's daughter. Why did Lin Ya do this to her? Huamin was furious. Chapter 4257. I don't know the details. I'm just following orders. It's up to the master to decide. Messiah, open the glass. I want to see Yen. I'm sorry, Mian. I don't have that authority. Messiah, I beg you. I really love Yen. Nothing can happen to her. Even though Huamin knew she wasn't Lu Yan's biological sister, she still loved Lu Yen very much. She even envied Lu Yen for being a clone. Although the clone wasn't a pure human, the clone Lin Ya had a kind heart. Although she was born from Lin Ya's original body, this Lin Ya was extremely evil. Miss Mian, it's useless to beg me. It's not that I'm heartless and don't want you sisters to see each other. It's just that the password for Miss Yan's crystal coffin comes from the master's retina. I can't do that. If I violate the rules, the master will cut me into pieces. From Messiah's words, Huamian knew how evil Lin Ya was. Is Xiaoyan all right? Will she wake up? Huamin asked worriedly. Although Miss Yan's injuries are serious, the master has a way to heal her. You must know that half of Miss Yan's body is made up of the clone's genes. No matter how serious her injuries are, the genes can be recombined without any problems. I can guarantee that. Please don't worry. During his time here, Huamin learned that Messiah was a responsible servant. Although she was Lin Ya's servant, she seemed to have a better conscience than Lin Ya. Hearing Messiah's words, Huamin was relieved. At least Lu Yan's life wasn't in danger. She leaned against the glass and looked at Lu Yan in the crystal coffin. She was just like a sleeping beauty, lying there quietly. Even though she was asleep, her eyelashes were still beautiful. Her stunning face couldn't be hidden. It seemed that after the incident in Yunnan, not only was she brought here, but Yan was also brought here. What was happening in the outside world? Where were Yan's subordinates? Weren't they leaderless? Where was Qiao Fei, who loved Yan deeply? Would he be worried sick if he couldn't find Yan? Huamin's mind was in a mess. Miss Mian, the temperature here is very low. You're pregnant and shouldn't stay here for too long. Let's go back. Messiah advised. In the end, Huamin nodded and followed Messiah out of the secret chamber. Messiah, why does Layla have her eyes on my husband? Huamin had always wanted to ask this question. She knew that it was better to ask Messiah than Lin Ya, because Lin Ya's answer was not very credible. After a few seconds of silence, Messiah replied, Miss Layla, I met your husband in America a few years ago. A few years ago? Huamin narrowed his eyes and tried to recall carefully. It should have been during the 4 years that Qin Chu was in the United States, but he had never mentioned it to him. Besides, Miss Mian, don't forget that Miss Layla was made based on your appearance and has all your memories. After Messiah said this, Huamin suddenly understood. So, like me, Layla likes Qin Chu? Sort of. After all, they have so many shared memories, so there must be feelings involved. But the difference is that Miss Layla always knows her identity. She probably won't fall so deeply in love with Mr. Qin like Miss Mian does. What if Layla fails the mission? Will she kill Qin Chu? Huamin asked Messiah pessimistically. Chapter 4258. That is Master's decision. I don't dare to say. Messiah didn't answer Huamin's question, but Huamin knew the situation wasn't very optimistic. Lin Ya's logic was abnormal, and Layla's methods were even crueler. After returning to the room, Huamin was a little restless. She touched the baby in her belly. She could only keep talking to the baby. She didn't know if the baby could hear her. Yeah, what should I do now? I'm worried about your father, your sisters, and your auntie. What should I do to save them? For the first time, Huamin felt so powerless. No matter how smart her brain was, it was useless at this moment. In Sea City, Qin Chu secretly drove the twins to the airport. To be exact, Qin Chu didn't tell his family that he was going on a trip with Qin Ning and Tang Chuan, especially behind that woman's back. Tang Chuan and Qin Ning packed their luggage and showed up at the airport in a low-key manner, accompanied by 4 skilled bodyguards sent by Qin Chu. From afar, she saw Qin Chu appear with the 2 little guys. Brother, over here. Qin Ning waved her hand from afar. Wow, Auntie, you're so beautiful today. Little Bean immediately rushed over and began to flatter her. Auntie, when aren't you beautiful? Qin Ning laughed. I mean, you're beautiful every day, but you're especially beautiful today. Auntie, you're so sexy in jeans. Really, my niece is so good at talking. It's as if her mouth is smeared with honey. Qin Ning was in a good mood. She only thought of this trip as an ordinary trip where her brother didn't have time to take care of the children. She didn't know that her brother had to deal with something forbidden at home. After the security check, go in and rest. It's almost time to board the plane. Qin Chu was actually reluctant to part with his daughters, but he had no choice. Now was a critical time. If he continued to keep the children at home, he couldn't guarantee that the perverted woman would do something to hurt his daughters. So, he could only temporarily send them away. Although this was a last resort, it was also a good way to protect the twins. Daddy, I need to go to the bathroom, Pudding suddenly said. There's some inside too. Let's go in. I'll take you there. Qin Ning didn't understand what Pudding meant. Pudding shook her head. Daddy, take me there. I have something to say to you. All right. Xianxia knew that Pudding had always been sensible. Since she said that, she must have something to say. He watched as Xianxia and Pudding left mysteriously. Tang Chuan was puzzled. What is this little adult trying to do now? Oh, I think my sister asked my dad to manage her stocks. After all, she's a tough woman who can't live without stocks, Little Bean explained. Yeah, I heard that your sister is a little rich now? Tang Chuan asked Little Bean. How can that be? How can a little rich be enough? My sister is now a billionaire. She's even richer than me. Qin Ning laughed. Yeah, you're all rich. I'm the only poor one. But it's okay. I can eat and drink for free and take your money. After all, our surnames are Qin. Little Bean laughed shamelessly. Little Bean, you're good. You did the right thing. I like your shameless attitude. Tang Chuan laughed until tears came out of his eyes. Chapter 4259. Little Bean replied proudly, Didn't you read the news online? If you want to succeed, you have to be persistent, shameless, and persistent. Where did you learn all this nonsense from? Qin Ning didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Online users. Online users are the most talented. Usually, the masters are among the people. Little Bean was playing with Qin Ning and Tang Chuan. She was wearing the same red down jacket as Pudding, black leather shoes, and a black top hat. The two sisters looked exactly the same. Anyone who saw them would be stunned. Luckily, Qin Ning and Tang Chuan could tell them apart. On the other side, near the washroom, Pudding stopped. She wasn't going to the washroom. Daddy, baby, I know you want to talk to me. Xianxia squatted down and touched Pudding's face. Is it safe here? Can we talk? Yes, you can. As Xianxia adjusted his collar, he turned on the anti-eavesdropping device that he always carried with him. He didn't want anyone to hear the conversation between him and his child. I heard that my sister and I will be away for a month. Yes. We've never been away from you for so long. We'll miss you so much. Daddy, you too. We'll send you videos every day of where you went, what you ate, and what you did. Remember to send them to Daddy. But remember, when you post on WeChat, don't use location. For example, after you take pictures of Paris and the Eiffel Tower, don't post them until your aunt takes you to Switzerland. When you go to the States, post the pictures of Switzerland and so on, Xianxia told Pudding patiently. Pudding nodded. I remember, Daddy. Many bad guys want to catch us. We can't expose our whereabouts. Yes, keep a low profile when you go out. Stay alert at all times. Don't get separated from Auntie and the bodyguards. Don't go out at night. Definitely. Then, Pudding turned on her phone and said, I've authorized Daddy to manage my stock account and password. Daddy, you can help me take a look every day, buy some in and sell some out. You just need to ensure the liquidity and activity of the stock. Okay, no problem. Daddy will definitely help you make a profit. Xianxia looked at Pudding lovingly. He was really proud of having such a cute daughter. There's one more important thing. I need to tell Daddy. What is it? She leaned close to Xianxia's ear and whispered, Be careful of Mommy. Xianxia's expression changed slightly when he heard this. Pudding, how did you find out? Daddy, don't you think Mommy has been acting weird ever since she came back from Yunnan? Pudding asked. I think so. Yes, other than having the same face and the same voice, she really doesn't look like Mommy. So I think there might be more to this matter. I wanted to tell you a few times at home, but Daddy always gave me a look. Maybe I thought there might be something eavesdropping at home, and I was afraid it would be dangerous for me to say it, so I didn't say it. But now that Daddy sent me and my sister out, there must be a reason. You and Grandpa and Grandma will be left alone to face that strange woman, so you must be careful. Pudding patted Xianxia's shoulder as she spoke like a little adult. At that moment, Xianxia felt tears welling up in his eyes. Pudding, I'm very, very proud to have a daughter like you, Xianxia said with a choked voice. Chapter 4260. Pudding wasn't even 4 years old, but what she said didn't sound like something a 4-year-old would say at all. I'm proud to have a father like you. Mr. Qin, I hope you can handle everything smoothly in the next month. When Little Bean and I come back, I hope everything will be over. As for you and Mom, our family of 4 will return to the way it was before. Pudding imitated Little Bean's tone and said these words to her father. Chin Chu stopped crying and smiled. Of course, I'll give you a great father and mother, not like this. Promise Daddy that you'll take good care of yourself. It's a promise, Pudding said and kissed Chin Chu's cheek seriously. She knew that her daddy had done a lot for her, her sister, and this family. There were many things in the adult world that children couldn't understand. But for Pudding and Little Bean, Chin Chu was the best father, even though he had been absent for a long time in their lives. But this man who loved them as much as his life had been making up for them. For this family, for these people he loved the most, he had shouldered a lot. Finally, Chin Chu carried Pudding all the way back, reluctant to let her go. From afar, Little Bean was jealous when she saw her daddy carrying her sister. Damn, this scheming Chin Zhao Zhao. She acted coquettishly with Daddy behind my back and even asked for a hug. Shameless. Then, Little Bean broke free from Chin Ning's hand. She raised her head and looked at Chin Chu pitifully. Mr. Chin, we're both twins and your daughters. Why does she get a hug? I want one too. Okay, you get one too. Chin Chu smiled and put Pudding down. Then he picked up Little Bean. Mr. Chin, we're going out to have fun. Yes, I had fun. You have to take care of your health at home too. I see that you've been so busy recently that you've been staying up late in the study to work overtime. As the CEO, you don't have to worry so much. Look at those CEOs in online novels. They just have to eat and drink every day, date the female lead, and have children. You don't have to work so hard, okay? Chin Chu chuckled at Little Bean's funny words. Chin Chu, who was known as the Prince Charming with no blind spots, was usually a sight to behold when he was cold. But when she smiled, she was truly stunning. If you were lucky enough to see it, you could definitely use one word to describe it. That was the smile of her Adonis, the spring flowers bloom. Little Bean reached out her chubby little hand and pinched her daddy's face. Look, comrade old Chin, you look so good when you smile. You can kill all the little fresh meats in a second. Smile more in the future. All right. Little Bean, stop wasting time. Let's go. We won't make it in time, Chin Ning urged from behind. What's the hurry? Aren't we super VIPs? Aren't we in the green passage of the first-class cabin? Besides, even if we're late, you rich people can charter the plane. What's there to worry about? After Little Bean complained, everyone laughed. Little girl, you're so materialistic at such a young age. Let's see how Buyuan will support you when he becomes a police officer. Do you want Buyuan to embezzle money? Haha, Tang Chuan teased her. Chapter 4261. Don't be ridiculous. Buyuan doesn't need to embezzle money. I've calculated everything. When I get married to Buyuan, we'll put our pocket money in the bank to earn interest. Then, when we get married, the dowry from Dad and Mom, and the red packets from Sister, Auntie, and other rich people will be enough for us to eat and drink for the rest of our lives. You're thinking too far ahead. Chin Ning leaned against Tang Chuan's chest and laughed like crazy. Little Bean was going further and further down the road of being a clown. I thought you'd say you'd find a rich man to marry instead of Buyuan, Pudding said. How's that possible? Do I look like a fickle person? Little Bean was unconvinced. Stop arguing. Oh my God. Let's go through the security check. Four bodyguards helped to drag a pile of luggage. Then, the 4 of them walked to the security check. Brother-in-law, don't worry. I'll take good care of the 3 most precious women in the Chin family. Tang Chuan smiled cheekily. I'm counting on you. Mr. Chin was very serious. After all, he didn't seem to be good at joking. Big brother, you should go back. We'll take care of the kids. Be careful. Have fun. Don't worry. With the 10 million you gave us, we'll have fun. It's enough to go to the South Pole. Chin Ning waved the black card in her hand. Finally, Chin Chu stood outside and watched them go in until they disappeared from his sight. When the security check came, Pudding stood there and looked to see if Daddy was still there. It was a pity that there were too many people around, and they were all blocking his view. Then, Tang Chuan accidentally saw Pudding crying. "What's wrong? Pudding? Why are you crying? You don't want to leave home?" Tang Chuan hurried to wipe Pudding's tears with a tissue. He thought the little kid would be so happy to go out and play. "I just feel that my daddy doesn't have it easy," Pudding said meaningfully. These words touched Tang Chuan greatly. "Pudding, your daddy is great. He's a superhero. There's nothing he can't handle. Let's trust him, okay?" Pudding nodded with tears in her eyes. In the end, Qin Ning and Tang Chuan took the twins on a long-distance flight. Qin Chu's heart finally settled down. Next, he had more important things to do. Imperial Star Entertainment headquarters. Su Yu was a little tired after watching the auditions with the directors for the whole morning. After booking the hotel, the few of them headed out. She saw Nie Lingxian, whom she hadn't seen for a long time. She was still elegant and beautiful, wearing a long beige cashmere coat and a British top hat. Ever since the incident at Huamin's birthday party, Nie Lingxian had been avoiding Su Yu. In the past, when she was overseas, she would occasionally give Su Yu likes and send him WeChat messages. There had been no news from him for a long time. "President Su, you're back?" Su Yu was a little embarrassed. The directors knew and didn't dare to disturb them, so they left first to give them a chance to talk. But this made things even more awkward. "Yeah, Cece gave birth, so I came back to see her and the baby. I heard she gave birth to a daughter, right? Congratulations." "Thank you. When are you leaving?" Su Yu felt awkward trying to find a topic to talk about. "President Su, I came here to talk to you about this. I want to ask you, can I come back?" Nie Lingxian's voice was very gentle. Chapter 4262. Su Yu thought he didn't hear her clearly and looked confused. Seeing Su Yu's expression, Nie Lingxian repeated, "President Su, can I come back?" "Of course. You didn't jump ship." Su Yu rubbed his forehead. "But I've been away for so long. If I come back, I might steal the newcomer's resources. I'm worried that President Su won't be happy with me." "How can that be? Everyone knows how capable you are. Besides, your contract hasn't expired yet. If you come back, everything will be the same as before. If you feel tired, you can reduce your work schedule. We can discuss this. The treatment won't change. What do you think?" Su Yu always felt that it was his fault that Nie Lingxian went abroad. Therefore, he had always been polite to her. He definitely didn't have the aura of a big boss bullying a small employee. This warmed Nie Lingxian's heart. "Thank you, President Su." She bowed to Su Yu respectfully. Although she was polite, it was obvious that she didn't dare to be passionate about Su Yu anymore. Even if she would take it back. After all, it would be awkward for both of them if she brought it up. Han Yueyao didn't know that Su Yu was talking to Nie Lingxian. She thought it was a staff member, so she didn't think much of it when she saw Nie Lingxian's back. She rushed up like a tough woman. She even punched Su Yu in the chest. "You're finally sober. Are you going to the nightclub to drink tonight? If you're going, can you take me with you? I've made up my mind. From today onwards, I'll be your dog's skin plaster. As long as you go to the nightclub, I'll go. If you go home obediently or do something else, I'll let you go." After Han Yueyao finished speaking, she found that Su Yu's expression was a little strange. Subconsciously, she turned around and looked at the woman opposite Su Yu. She was dumbfounded. "Nye. Superstar Nye." Han Yueyao didn't like celebrities or famous actresses, but Nie Lingxian was one of her favorite actresses. Nie Lingxian had acted in many historical dramas since her debut. Nie Lingxian played a mute widow who was bullied by others in a rural area. Since then, Han Yueyao had liked her very much. Unfortunately, when Han Yueyao came, Nie Lingxian had left the country. Some media outlets said that Nie Lingxian had been shelved, while others said that she had broken up with Su Yu and had been dumped. In short, her leaving caused a lot of controversy. Now that Nie Lingxian had come back, she hadn't received any news. Han Yueyao felt like an idiot in front of her idol. It was so humiliating. "Hello, you dance very well. I've been watching your competitions." Nie Lingxian smiled at her politely. Idol, did you watch my show?" "Yes, Dancing Allure is very popular. I like you and Yuanbo the most. You know, I really like your acting. I've watched a lot of your dramas. Can you take a picture with me? No. Can we add each other on WeChat? She was so excited that she couldn't speak coherently. Sure. Nie Lingxian agreed to add her on WeChat. Han Yueyao was even more excited. After adding each other, she adjusted the beauty camera on her cell phone and handed it to Suyu. President Su, please take a picture for us. Thank you. Please make my face smaller. Then she ran to Nie Lingxian and made AV with her finger, looking extremely adorable. Suyu looked at the silly Han Yueyao on his cell phone and didn't know whether he should laugh or cry. Chapter 4263. Exasperated, Suyu took a picture of them with his cell phone. After taking the picture, Han Yueyao said to Nie Lingxian, "Idol, don't worry. I'll Photoshop it for you when I'm done." "Thank you." Nie Lingxian smiled gently. "You're welcome. It's great to see you. But can I post it on my WeChat Moments and Weibo?" "Sure." "Thank you, Idol. You're super nice." Then she ran away, completely ignoring Suyu. The girl is really cute. Looking at Han Yueao's back, Nie Lingxian said, Don't you think she's a cheerful little idiot? Ever since she came, I feel like there are more people in the company." Suyu did think Han Yueyao was a girl who could lift people's spirits. "She's a good person. I saw in the media that you guys, that's fake." Before Nie Lingxian could finish, Suyu interrupted her. Nie Lingxian didn't mention it and just smiled. Nie Lingshuan's return was a sudden decision. Suyu immediately contacted some senior officials in the company to write a proposal for Nie Lingshuan's comeback. At the end of the year, Imperial Star held its annual meeting. Nie Lingxian could use the opportunity to make a comeback and create a sensation. Suyu went to have dinner with the directors. During the dinner, he scrolled through his WeChat Moments and saw Han Yueao's photo with Nie Lingxian. He commented under the photo, "There's no harm without comparison. Look at her temperament and look at yourself. She's like a comedian." Han Yueyao replied immediately, "I'd love to. Boss, are you going to the nightclub tonight?" Suyu replied to Han Yueyao, "There are so many nightclubs in the city. I don't believe you can catch me." Han Yueyao replied to Suyu, "Don't drive if you dare. Walk with Master and you win." Suyu replied to Han Yueyao. After arguing with Han Yueyao for a while, Suyu scrolled through the twins' WeChat Moments. Pudding kept a low profile and didn't like to post. On the other hand, Little Bean posted a selfie of herself boarding the plane. Then he wrote, "Comrade Old Chin has given us a huge sum of money to go out and have fun. The trip has begun. Don't miss us too much." Suyu replied, "Little Bean, remember to send me videos often." Little Bean replied, "Then you need to give me some traffic right now. Otherwise, there's no room for discussion." Suyu replied, "So you're blackmailing me?" Little Bean replied to Suyu, "Blackmail? No, that's not my style. It's too low. I'm clearly robbing you." Suyu replied, "You win, Little Bean. Have fun." Little Bean replied to Suyu, "I'll miss you, handsome Su." What? Interacting with the two children was one of Suyu's favorite things to do, and he enjoyed it very much. Although Suyu felt a little regretful that he didn't go to Tokyo and refunded a few tickets and hotels, he didn't blame Chin-Chu. After all, she knew that Chin-Chu's decisions were made after careful consideration. In other words, Chin-Chu's decision was even if Chin-Chu agreed to let Huamin go with them, Suyu wouldn't dare to take them. How could he take someone else's wife on a vacation? Even if there was really nothing between them, he couldn't explain it clearly. Even if he was Huamin's best friend, he still had to know how to avoid suspicion. Only when he had self-respect would others respect him. Therefore, Suyu didn't have any misgivings about this matter. During dinner, Suyu received a WeChat message from Huamin. "Su, the trip to Japan is ruined. Chin-Chu doesn't agree to let me go." "I know. He told me," Suyu replied. "I didn't expect Chin-Chu to be so narrow-minded. I'm so disappointed. I'm a little sad. Can you come and accompany me?" Huamin said, "Now." Suyu was a little confused. He didn't know what was going on with Huamin recently. He had a feeling that she was flirting with him. Chapter 4264. What's wrong? Is it inconvenient for you? I'm eating outside with a few directors right now. Where are you eating? The Yu family's private restaurant. Oh, after that, Huamin didn't say anything else. Su Yu thought that she was busy with something else, but 20 minutes later, Su Yu received a WeChat message from Huamin. I'm waiting for you at the entrance of the Yu family's private restaurant. Don't worry, eat first. When Su Yu heard this, how could he eat? What kind of temperature was it outside? The temperature in the north had been dropping drastically recently. At night, Sea City would reach -20 degrees Celsius. Not to mention sitting outside for a while, even sitting for 5 minutes would freeze. You guys eat first. I'll go out for a while. Su Yu stood up embarrassedly. After all, he was more familiar with the directors. No one paid attention to Su Yu's departure. When Su Yu came out, Huamin was indeed sitting on the curb opposite the restaurant. He was only wearing a very thin cashmere coat. One had to know that cashmere coats couldn't keep people warm in this season. Everyone would buy a very thick down jacket. When Su Yu saw this, his heart skipped a beat. Then he quickly crossed the road and took off his goose down jacket and put it on Huamin. Sister, how long have you been here? Su Yu sounded helpless and heartbroken. I just arrived not long ago. Why didn't you wear a down jacket? Don't you know what kind of weather it is? Are you still a northerner? Although Su Yu's words were filled with reproach, it was obvious that he cared more about her. It was precisely because she felt this care that Layla kept approaching Su Yu. Or rather, she kept seducing Su Yu. After all, she had been rejected by Qin Chu too many times, so she came to Su Yu to seek warmth. Get up quickly. Come, follow me in. You're having a meal with a few directors. I don't think it's appropriate for me to go, right? She pretended to be reserved. I won't take you to eat with those people. I'll accompany you alone. You haven't eaten dinner yet, right? Su Yu looked at his watch and saw Huamin's pitiful look. Let's go then. Follow me in. Su Yu was wearing a white Versace sweater with a Medusa pattern in the middle. He brought Huamin into the restaurant and found a small private room. He picked up the menu and threw it to Huamin. Dr. Hua, you can order whatever you want. The food here is pretty good. All right, then I won't stand on ceremony. Layla flipped through the menu. On the surface, she looked very happy, but in fact, she was not interested in the food. After all, she wasn't someone who relied on eating these things for a living. Su Yu took the opportunity to go to the washroom. When he came out of the washroom, he pondered for a moment. Afraid of causing unnecessary misunderstandings, he went to the corridor and called Qin Chu. Qin Chu, it's me. Got it. Mian is with me now, at the Yu family's private restaurant. Qin Chu didn't say anything. Did you have a fight with her? She didn't seem to be in a good mood and came to have dinner with me. I was afraid that you would misunderstand, so I told you. Okay, got it. Qin Chu said he got it and then hung up the phone indifferently. Su Yu felt that something was wrong with his attitude. If it was in the past, he would never be like this. It seemed that between Qin Chu and Huamin, there seemed to be a big problem. Chapter 4265. Su Yu walked back with questions in his mind. After entering the private room, Huamin smiled at him. Are you done ordering? Yeah, I ordered a few expensive dishes. I didn't hold back. Huamin smiled. Su Yu sat down across from Huamin. Here's the down jacket, you don't wear much anyway. Seeing that Su Yu was only wearing a sweater, Huamin took off her down jacket. It's okay, I'm not cold. You can wear it first. Su Yu, you're so nice. You didn't go to the airport today? Su Yu was a bit embarrassed and changed the topic. To be honest, I didn't know about the kids going abroad, huh? She smiled coldly. Are you serious? Su Yu thought she was joking. How could Huamin not know about the twins going on a trip? I really didn't know, Qin Chu didn't tell me. Mian, I'm not joking. What's going on between you two? Su Yu felt that the relationship between the couple was very strange. He didn't know what to feel about it. Huamin immediately began her performance. She froze for a moment, and then tears began to well up in her eyes. Su Yu, I feel like an outsider in that family. Do you know how that feels? Huamin's voice was a bit choked up, making Qin Chu's heart ache. How can this be? It shouldn't be, you've always been a queen at South Hill Manor. Su Yu knew that Huamin was really like a queen in the family. Her parents-in-law doted on her. Her husband protected her, and her daughters were very close to her. She was definitely the big sister in the family. How could she say that she was an outsider? Anyway, perhaps they felt that my miscarriage this time was quite a big blow to the Qin family. Although my in-laws keep saying that it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, who doesn't want a son? When the baby was in my belly, everyone was looking forward to her birth. My in-laws told everyone that they were going to have a grandson. Now that they're gone, they're very sad. Although Qin Chu didn't say it, I'm sure he had his own thoughts. That's why he started to distance himself from me. At first, he distanced himself from me. Later, he asked the children to distance themselves from me. I stayed in my room alone every day. To me, that home was like a prison. Alone? No way, where's Qin Chu? Su Yu frowned slightly. Qin Chu is staying in the study. He says he's working overtime. Then he stays in the study. There's a single bed in the study. What about Pudding and Little Bean? The two of them are still in their own rooms, but Grandma and the nanny are the ones who take care of things like bathing and changing clothes. They don't need me, so I'm the extra one now. How did that happen? Su Yu's heart ached when he heard about Huamin's situation. After all, Huamin didn't want to have the miscarriage. It was something unexpected. Mian, is there some misunderstanding between you and Qin Chu? I don't think Qin Chu is that kind of person. He shouldn't be so superficial. He's known you for so many years, he shouldn't be so distant from you because of something like this. Thinking about all the things that happened before, Su Yu still didn't believe that Qin Chu would be so heartless. How could he leave his wife to this extent? Su Yu, I'm only going to ask you one thing today. Do you believe me or Qin Chu? If one day the two of us were to tear each other apart, who would you side with? Huamin teared up and pretended to be pitiful as she threw a difficult question at Su Yu. Who should he side with? The problem was, Su Yu still didn't understand the situation. He still felt that Mian was a little strange. She was completely different from the calm and composed Dr. Hua he knew. Chapter 4266. To be honest, Mian, I've never thought about the question you asked. Su Yu wasn't avoiding the question on purpose, but he really didn't know how to answer it. Huamin's question was really strange. Since when could she openly say that she wanted to fight with Qin Chu? I'm just assuming. Don't be nervous. Seeing how serious Su Yu was, Huamin smiled. That's not a good assumption. Let's change it. Su Yu, are you not treating me like before? Are you like everyone else? Why are you ignoring me? Huamin began to play the warm card. Mian, if I ignored you, you wouldn't be sitting here today. I was talking to a few directors about a collaboration, and you called and I left. So, do you think I don't care about you anymore? Su Yu felt wronged. I know that everyone will betray me, but you won't. Su Yu, why are you so good to me? As he spoke, Huamin's eyes began to moisten again. Su Yu felt bad looking at him. Don't cry. Didn't we agree that I'll eat with you? At this moment, the waiters brought the dishes one after another. Su Yu picked up a new pair of chopsticks and put various vegetables into Huamin's bowl. But to be honest, she wasn't interested in these things. She didn't like to eat these things. Here, have a crab. It's very fresh. Su Yu habitually scooped out the crab from the spicy crab and placed it directly on Huamin's plate. Su Yu, you forgot that I don't like seafood anymore. Only then did Su Yu realize and smile awkwardly. Su Yu didn't know what was wrong with him now. His feelings for Huamin didn't seem as deep as before. Was it because he had become a scumbag? The meal was dull. During the meal, Little Bean and Pudding even took photos of Su Yu when they stopped by. Little Bean made faces and stuck out her tongue, while Pudding was very elegant and only smiled slightly beside Little Bean. Su Yu even showed it to Huamin. Don't underestimate them. Look at how naughty they are. Su Yu held up his phone as if they were his daughters. Su Yu, do you like Pudding and Little Bean? Yes, Su Yu answered without hesitation. Do you want them to be your daughters? Huamian asked again. What do you mean? Don't tell me you want them to call me their godfather? Ha, don't do that. Godfather is a derogatory term in the entertainment industry. The paparazzi often say that some actress and her godfather are doing this and that, so I'd rather die than do that. Don't ruin our baby's reputation. Suyu was right. Godfather wasn't a good word. In this day and age, godfathers weren't simple anymore. Huamin held a spoon and kept stirring the bird's nest soup in the bowl. Then he smiled meaningfully. I didn't mean to call you my godfather. You might have misunderstood me. You didn't mean godfather? Then what? Don't tell me you want to become my sworn brother and call me big brother. Don't do that, it's so old-fashioned. It's so bad in the wuxia movies. Let's not be so low class. Ha, I'd rather die than do that. To liven up the atmosphere, Su Yu's imagination ran wild. Unfortunately, Huamin looked up and threw the spoon on the table. He said calmly, none of that, you're thinking too much. Chapter 4267. Then Mian you mean, Su Yu was completely confused. He thought it was a joke, but Huamin's expression didn't seem to be joking. So, Su Yu didn't dare to joke around and put away his playful expression. If I divorce Qin Chu, I hope you'll stand by my side and help me fight for custody. If you help me, I'll marry you. Su Yu, I'll marry you with my daughters. That way, they'll be able to openly call you Daddy. Not Godfather, but Daddy. Haha, Mian, this joke isn't funny at all, okay? Pudding and Little Bean will go crazy if they hear it. Su Yu couldn't stop laughing, thinking that Huamin was really crazy. But, after laughing for a long time, he looked at Huamin's serious expression. Is it very funny? She asked him. Mian, Su Yu, today's not April Fool's Day, I don't have time to joke with you. I'm just saying what's on my mind, so please give me an answer when you're done laughing. Mian, stop it. I'm not. If you don't agree, don't dare to offend Qin Chu, or don't want to help me, then I'll have to rely on myself. But the chances of winning aren't high. After all, I don't have much money or background. Su Yu, if you don't help me, then I'll throw caution to the wind. If Qin Chu doesn't give me custody of the children, I'll die in front of him. What are you talking about? Su Yu was scared out of his wits. You might think I'm just saying that to scare you, but I'm not. Mian, calm down, I'm calm. I've thought it through. I want to divorce Qin Chu. You two have been together for so many years. Why, Su Yu, don't be a nice guy. Haven't you always loved me? Why are you still pretending to be a white lotus to set me up with Qin Chu? Shouldn't you be the happiest person if we get a divorce? Huamin stood up and looked at Su Yu, questioning him righteously. Her tone made Su Yu very uncomfortable, but because she was Huamin, Su Yu tolerated it. I do like you, Mian, but I'd rather like you in my heart than ruin your happy family. I'm not a white lotus, I just want the person I like to be happy, that's all. Don't think of me as a selfish person, please. What if I'm not happy? Huamian's tone was aggressive. Su Yu, if you don't help me, I'll do it myself. Anyways, if Qin Chu continues to be like this, I won't be with him anymore. I know you've always had me in your heart. If you're willing to help me, I'll divorce you and be with you. If you're not willing, then after the divorce, I'll leave this place, go abroad, and never speak to you again. After speaking, Huamin stood up and walked out. Su Yu hurriedly got up, ran after her, and grabbed her arm. Then, Huamin turned around, and Su Yu quickly let go. After all, it was too intimate. Mia, I'm shocked by what you said. I didn't know that was what you thought. Su Yu, do you still love me? Huamin kept asking Su Yu if he loved her or not. Su Yu loved her, but he couldn't say it out loud. After all, she was someone else's wife. Su Yu felt that if he said that he loved her, it would be shameless. You don't love me anymore, right? Then say that you love me, I want you to say it. Huamin kept asking. Su Yu felt like his heart was on the verge of breaking down. Chapter 4268. Don't be like this, just answer me and don't change the subject. Mian, Qin Chu really doesn't have it easy. In the end, Su Yu couldn't say that he loved her. Even though Huamin forced him to, he still didn't say it. If it was Su Yu in the past, he would have no qualms about it. However, the moment Huamin interrogated him, the image of Qin Chu returning to China 4 years later flashed through his mind. He hugged Huamin tightly on the cruise ship, the scene of him secretly hiding the proposal ring. Everyone in the world knew what Qin Chu did for Huamin. Su Yu once told Tang Chuan that he loved Huamin very much. However, compared to Qin Chu, his love was too shallow. His love was only superficial, while Qin Chu's love was deeper. Anyone could do something as grand as the sky falling and the earth cracking. However, he kept suppressing the longing in his heart. For Huamin, he was willing to sacrifice everything. He was willing to live in pain for 4 years. Su Yu couldn't imagine it. Perhaps, if he was Qin Chu, he would have broken down long ago. In the face of Hua Xiqian's constant provocations and schemes, as well as the appearance of people related to his background, what was originally a happy family of 4 had become a precarious situation. Qin Chu had no choice but to be vigilant at all times to protect his wife and daughters. Even though he was physically and mentally exhausted, he didn't dare to fall, nor did he fall back then, when Huamin was dragged down the cliff by Hua Xiqian and Qin Chu vomited blood. Su Yu would never forget it. Therefore, as a love rival, he actually didn't think of confessing his feelings at this moment. Instead, he felt sorry for Qin Chu for Huamin all these years. Su Yu felt that he had become more mature and aware. He was no longer the fearless prince he used to be. You and Qin Chu appreciate each other. Fine, I guess I'm overthinking it. It's not like that. Listen to me. Stop talking, I don't want to hear it. Su Yu, I'm a little disappointed in you. After speaking, Huamin turned around and walked out of the restaurant without eating much. Su Yu was a little disappointed, but he also felt that he was right. Su Yu turned to call Qin Chu and found that Qin Chu's phone had been transferred to voicemail. Thinking that he might be in a meeting, he left a voice message. Su Yu said, Qin Chu, talk to Huamian. I think the situation between you two is very serious. Today, she talked to me about divorce and custody. It's very scary. I think she might be suffering from postpartum depression. You'd better ask Dr. Jiang to see if there's something wrong with her. When Qin Chu heard the voice message, it was already 1.5 hours later. Qin Chu was still expressionless after hearing the voice message. He didn't reply to Su Yu. He knew very well what that woman wanted. At the headquarters of Imperial Star Entertainment, after the interview, Han Yueyao went to the dressing room to remove her heavy makeup. She happened to see Nie Lingxian putting on makeup. When she saw Nie Lingxian, she was still very excited. Hello, idol. Hello, Nie Lingxian greeted her politely. At this moment, Gao Yaruo arrogantly mocked, Whoa, isn't this the queen of popularity, Han Yueyao? You also know how to greet people. Why don't you talk to people like us who aren't famous? Are you a snob? Han Yueyao glanced at Gao Yaruo coolly. So you're the snob. Chapter 4269. Gao Yaruo panicked when she heard this. Who are you calling a dog? Do you want to be beaten up? Gao Yaruo was about to walk over. But Nie Lingxian stopped her. Yaruo, what are you doing? Big sister Xianxia, you don't know what's wrong with President Su. He's been supporting this country bumpkin while you were overseas. She's not very popular and she's very snobbish. When she was in my group, she didn't hold back when she talked to me, the captain. We don't like her. With Nie Lingxuan's support, Gao Yaruo became very arrogant. Han Yueyao knew that Gao Yaruo was the captain of the new B group. It was because she heard that her cousin was Nie Lingxuan's agent. So, they should be close. Now that Nie Lingxian was back, it was normal for her to be arrogant. After all, she was always arrogant. Yaya, let's not lower ourselves to the same level as her, Nie Lingxuan's agent said. Obviously, she was on Han Yueyao's side. Han Yueyao didn't feel awkward. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she glanced at Nie Lingxian. If Nie Lingxian indulged these women, then she wouldn't care about her idol anymore. In that case, it was better not to have this idol of his in the future. It was better to stay away from him in the future. To her surprise, Nie Lingxian was a little angry. Don't doubt President Su's taste. He never makes the wrong decision at work because of personal relationships. He's supporting Han Yueyao because she's very good. I saw her dance too. She's very professional. Yarrow, you should learn from her. Don't always think that you're so good. You're a newbie and have a lot to learn. Nie Lingxian was obviously teaching Gao Yarrow a lesson for causing trouble. Sister Xianxian. Gao Yarrow was obviously unhappy. You two go out first. I need to talk to Han Yueyao. Xianxian, are you okay? The agent glared at Han Yueyao and then looked at Nie Lingxian ingratiatingly. I'm fine. With Nie Lingxuan's words, Gao Yarrow and her cousin left the dressing room reluctantly. The makeup artist hadn't arrived yet, so only Nie Lingxian and Han Yueyao were left in the room. Han Yueyao was the first to speak. I know Gao Yarrow is your agent's younger sister and you two are close. But I'm still grateful for your help and recognition of my abilities. Thank you, idol. Don't say that. I know Yarrow's character very well. She's been bullying newcomers for a long time. However, after you became famous, it's normal for her to be envious and jealous. After all, she came here earlier than you. In our circle, it's normal to be jealous and fight with each other. Don't mind it. I don't care. I'm thick-skinned. Han Yueyao smiled. Come and sit. Nie Lingxian patted the chair beside her and invited him intimately. She glanced at it and walked over with a smile. Then he sat down beside Nie Lingxian. Do you want to remove your makeup? Let me help you. Nie Lingxian picked up the cotton pad on the dressing table and carefully dipped it in the makeup remover. I'll do it myself. Don't trouble you. Han Yueyao was startled that the superstar was going to help her remove her makeup. She immediately shook her head and waved her hands to refuse, but she didn't dare to speak too loudly in case she scared her goddess. Chapter 4270. It's okay. I'm good at this. Don't worry. I'm as good as a professional makeup artist. Then, Nie Lingxian carefully placed the cotton pad on Han Yueyao's face. She gently removed the makeup for Han Yueyao. For some reason, maybe it was her intuition, Han Yueyao thought Nie Lingxian wasn't a scheming woman. She seemed easy to get along with and was a good person. So, she didn't move and let the superstar remove the makeup for her. It's good to be young. You look beautiful. Looking at Han Yueyao's chubby face, Nie Lingxian sighed. Idol, you're still young? You're still in your prime, Han Yueyao flattered. I'm not that much older than you, but I'm old, and my mentality is old. I've been in this industry for a long time. Back then, when I was still studying at the Film Academy, I accidentally took on a commercial and caught the eye of the director of Imperial Star. I acted in their first period drama, but after that, things got out of hand. After that, I was stuck in the third or fourth tier for many years. In the end, Jian Tong and the others got into trouble one after another, and that was when I had the chance to become famous. Unfortunately, I'm not suited for fame, or rather, I'm not suited for being a celebrity. Why do you say that? You're so popular now. I've seen you in many period dramas. You're perfect for period dramas. Han Yueyao's words were from the bottom of her heart. I like acting, but I'm not suitable for being a star. Han Yueyao didn't understand what he said. Seeing the girl's confusion, Nie Lingxian smiled. It's okay. You'll understand in the future. I heard you're coming back. Han Yueyao asked cautiously. Yeah. Congratulations, congratulations. Actually, there's nothing to congratulate me for. This is the path I'm supposed to take. But don't worry. I'm coming back to act and do what I love. I won't stand in your way or steal your limelight. No. That's not what I meant. I sincerely hope you'll come back. Congratulations, Han Yueyao explained nervously. I know. Nie Lingxian smiled and continued to remove the makeup for Han Yueyao gently. They were silent for a few seconds. Then Han Yueyao suddenly asked, Idol, do you like Su Yu very much? Nie Lingxuan's hand, which was removing her makeup, paused for a moment at the sudden question. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. But I saw that the news was spreading like wildfire. I was curious and looked at Tieba. I saw a lot of people talking about you guys, so, it's okay, There's nothing to hide. I like Suyu, the whole world knows. Nie Lingxian said calmly. She didn't look like the actress who was shy on camera at all. Looking at Nie Lingshuan's peaceful face, Han Yueyao felt Nie Lingxian seemed to have settled down a lot during her stay abroad. Hehe, since my idol is so honest, then let me tell you a secret. I also like Suyu. Han Yueyao pursed her lips into a smile. She knew she shouldn't reveal this secret so casually, but she didn't know why. At this moment he really wanted to share it with the woman in front of him. Nie Lingxian paused. She didn't expect the little girl to be so direct. So, she couldn't help but ask curiously with a smile, "Does Suyu like you?" Of course not. To quote you, "The whole world knows Suyu only likes Sister Huamin." Han Yueyao lowered her head and said dejectedly. Chapter 4271. Hearing this, Nie Lingshuan's eyes dimmed. Yeah, you're right. The whole world knows Suyu likes Huamin. I'm sorry. Did I bring up your sad past? Looking at Nie Lingshuan's sad eyes, Han Yueyao felt guilty and angry at herself for being so talkative. Nie Lingxian continued to remove her makeup with a cotton pad. It's all in the past, but I'm not sad anymore. You've gotten over it? Han Yueyao asked carefully. What else can I do? What else can I do? She chuckled. You're right. How about we form a missing couple alliance? No. It should be called the Suyu Crush Alliance. Nie Lingxian chuckled. I think Suyu treats you well. I don't have a chance anymore, but you still have a chance. No matter how much he likes Huamin, Huamin has a husband and children, so he'll never get a response. The Suyu family won't let Suyu stay single forever. Sooner or later, he'll end his loneliness. You're right. Han Yueyao agreed with Nie Lingxian. So, you have to work hard, huh? Why should I work hard? What about you? Han Yueyao looked at Nie Lingshuan's gentle face. She suddenly felt this girl was really nice. Why didn't Suyu like her? Didn't I tell you? I've given up. Don't. Let's like him together. Suyu is everyone's. Han Yueyao turned on her funny mode. Nie Lingxian giggled. Laughter could be heard in the dressing room from time to time. Standing outside, Gao Yeruo was very displeased. I don't know what magic this bitch has. She always pretends to be an outspoken retard and makes people think she's not scheming. She's the best scheming bitch. If you have the time to complain about others, why don't you focus on improving yourself? Nie Lingshuan's agent glanced at her coldly. Cousin, I've been working hard. When you have time, talk to Sister Xianxian and ask her to put in a good word for President Su. There are so many actresses in Imperial Star, and President Su is very nice to Sister Xianxian. I heard that Sister Xuanxuan's brother-in-law is very influential. Gao Yeruo started gossiping. It's not your business. Don't pry. It won't do you any good. Gao Yeruo immediately shut her mouth and didn't dare to say another word. At this moment, on the other side of the world, Huamin was sleeping. She vaguely heard Qin Chu's voice. Mian, get up and eat crabs. Fresh hairy crabs. Honey, can I eat it? I'm pregnant. At this time, his stomach was kicked by the little guy. Then, Huamin woke up and saw the white room around him. Only then did she realize that she was still trapped here. She touched her huge belly. Baby, you're 3 days past your due date. Why aren't you pregnant yet? Are you okay? The baby in her stomach seemed to understand Huamin's words and magically moved. It was quite big and seemed to be a little kick. It was very naughty. Huamin smiled happily. Little guy, are you waiting for us to go back? You want to see Daddy before you come out. Then, the little guy magically responded to her. Do you really understand me? You want to see Daddy too, right? Huamin was a little excited. At this time, the door was pushed open and Messiah walked in a gypsy outfit. Miss Mian, the master wants to see you. Chapter 4272. I'm not going. Huamin hated Linya to the extreme. She was imprisoned here by her own mother and then sent a cloned monster to destroy her family. Huamin felt that he would never forgive Linya for this. Miss Mian, I hope you can go. Don't forget. Miss Yen is still in the ice coffin. Huamin was a little angry. He looked up at Messiah coldly. Messiah, are you threatening me? I'm not threatening Miss Mian. I'm telling the truth. Because Master won't show mercy to Miss Yen. You know this better than anyone. Huamin was angry, but he knew that Messiah was right and he couldn't refute her. So, in the end, Huamin followed behind Messiah silently. They slowly walked towards the hall that she disliked very much. Linya was still not wearing her queen's outfit. Strangely, when she wore casual clothes, she gave people the illusion that she was a good mother. Mian, you're here. Linya smiled warmly. Huamin didn't answer. You can all leave. Linya sent all the maids away. Yes, Master. Messiah led the other maids away. Only Linya and Huamin were left in the hall. The atmosphere was very cold. Perhaps it was because this place was too big, or perhaps Huamin's heart was empty. Mian, are the dumplings delicious? Do you like the food recently? Do you think I still have an appetite? Huamin looked at her. Mian, what do you want to eat? Tell Mommy. Stop calling me Mommy. You don't deserve it. Really, Linya, stop acting. I hate hypocrites the most. Dad and Yen are both so straightforward, so if you have any intentions, just say it. Don't beat around the bush. I really don't like to see you, not at all. Huamin didn't give Linya any face at all. Messiah usually told Huamin not to anger Linya. She said that when the Lord got angry, it was very scary. Even Layla had to be as obedient as a puppy. However, Huamin kept provoking Linya and even scolding her. Linya's attitude was very bad, but perhaps because Huamin was her biological daughter, Linya had never been mad at her and always treated her nicely. I know you don't like Mommy. You have a deep misunderstanding about Mommy, but it's okay. You'll slowly understand and understand Mommy. No, I will never be able to understand you. Mian, the word forever is too long. Don't jump to conclusions so easily. By the way, I have good news to announce. Huamin remained silent. Do you want to see your father? You caught him? Huamin furrowed his brows and glared angrily. He used the word grab and was very angry. How could I catch him? I invited him, or rather, he came with me willingly. Mian, do you want our family of 4 to live together, eat together, chat together, and laugh together? A family of 4? Huamin was in a daze for a moment. That was her greatest wish. She had thought that her mother was dead. Therefore, she had always wanted to bring Yen and her father here and live together with them. Their family would be happy. Now that Linya had come back to life, or rather, Linya was here too. Then, with Lu Yen and her father, was this really a family of 4? It was probably harder to gather than the 7 godly dragons. Huamin couldn't believe it. After the excitement, she gradually calmed down. Linya, what are you up to now? Chapter 4273. Kid, why don't you believe me? I just want to fulfill your wish. Don't you always want the 4 of us to live happily together? But you know it's impossible, Huamin said. For me, Linya, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Don't tell me you're thinking of cloning Xiao Yen to trick Daddy? Huamin knew Linya was good at making clones, so he couldn't tell the difference between the real one and the fake one. She even wondered if the Linya in front of her was a clone. After all, her real body was so noble that she wouldn't show up easily. No, there are no clones. They're real people. Don't worry. But Xiao Yen is still unconscious. I can heal Lu Yan's wounds in 3 minutes. Don't forget that half of her body has the genes of a clone. With a complicated expression, Huamin remained silent and listened to Linya. Mian, with 1 word from you, I can make all your dreams come true. Why are you so kind? Huamin looked at the beautiful woman in front of him suspiciously. Because I'm your mother. Isn't it my duty to fulfill your dreams? Don't mention the word mother, again, Linya. You've tarnished the beautiful word mother. Compared to you, I love the mother in Sea City more. Although she's not my biological mother, she raised me, educated me, and taught me a lot of life principles. You, on the other hand, have done nothing but give birth to an egg. Now you're back to make trouble. So, Ms. Linya, please call me Huamin from now on. You're not my mother. Huamin was grumpy, probably because of her pregnancy. Huamin was very rude to Linya. Every time she mentioned her mother, Huamin felt disgusted. Hearing this, Linya chuckled. You mean that village girl? Yang Meirong? A village girl who was charmed by my 002. Mion, are you blind? How can you call her your mother? I'm really ashamed of you. Linya seemed to despise Yang Meirong and even made fun of her for cloning Jingda. She was deeply in love with Uncle Jing. It's shameful of you to use a dead person to make a fuss. How dare you blame her? Linya, are you really human? I'm not. I'm a god. Linya's smile was creepy. Huamin, on the other hand, was so angry that his heart was about to jump out of his chest. Okay, Mian, we don't have much time. Promise me one thing and I'll let you see your dad and Lu Yen. What is it? Don't tell your dad and Lu Yen anything about this place. Once you open your mouth, I promise you that the bomb in Lu Yan's body will detonate on the spot. Even if you beg me, I won't clone an identical Lu Yen for you. You know I'm a man of my word. Linya, you are really despicable and shameless. Huamin was so angry that he wanted to tear off her hypocritical mask. Cursing his mother isn't something a child should do. Of course, there's one more thing. What is it? Tell your dad to hand over the red demon. What's the red demon? Huamin looked puzzled since it was the first time he had heard of this strange term. You don't need to know. Just ask him to hand it over. That's strange. Aren't you the woman he loves the most? Why don't you ask for it yourself? Huamin was puzzled and looked at Linya warily, afraid that she was up to something. Chapter 4274. Hearing Huamin's words, Linya's expression changed slightly. You don't have to worry about that. Of course, you can refuse. It's up to you. Seeing that Huamin didn't agree so easily, Linya didn't want to play the tender card with her anymore. She seemed to have lost her patience. Huamin didn't want to compromise, but she didn't want to miss the chance to meet Lu Yan's father. So, she lowered her head and bit her lips. After a long time, she finally nodded. Okay, I agree. Then you'd better not cry. Be happy, and don't give yourself away, or else, I know. I'll listen to you, Huamin interrupted her. Good. Then let's go, my good girl. Linya had long seen Huamin's weakness. It was easy to threaten him with Lu Yan's life. Linya led Huamin to the ice room where Lu Yan was. Looking at the sleeping Lu Yan, Huamin had mixed feelings. Linya waved her hand. Someone seemed to control the device and open the ice coffin. Then, Linya connected some wires to Lu Yan at the end of the ice coffin. Then she activated some devices. 3 minutes later, Lu Yan woke up miraculously. Her body was restored within 3 minutes, and all the injured soft tissues were restored. To put it in the most appropriate way, he had truly revived with full health. Lu Yan felt like she had slept for a long time. When she woke up, it took her a minute to wake up. Then, she opened her eyes completely. Yan, Huamin couldn't help but run over with tears in his eyes. But, Lu Yan punched Huamin. Fortunately, Linya pushed Huamin aside and dodged Lu Yan's fatal punch. Mian, it's me. Huamin looked at the crazy Lu Yan in disbelief. Impossible. You monster, do you still want to pretend to be my sister? It seemed that Lu Yan was still immersed in the battle with Layla in the primitive jungle in Yunnan. So, she thought the real Huamin was Layla. Seeing Lu Yan going crazy and rushing up, Linya only made a slight backhand movement, and Lu Yan couldn't resist. She slowly lowered her body to his. Who are you? Let me go. Yan, look who I am. Linya's voice was pleasant to listen to her voice, and matched her appearance to match. Lu Yan looked up, and the moment she saw Linya, her pupils dilated. She opened her mouth wide and looked at the girl who had once been a blur in her memory. She was in disbelief. The only picture of Linya in the world was in Lu Yan's possession. It was a sketch drawn by Lu Yan. However, no matter how good the painting was, it was not as beautiful and charming as Linya herself. Yan couldn't believe it. Standing on the side, Huamian looked at Lu Yan's expression and knew Lu Yan thought of her as her mother. Yan, do you remember me? Linya let go of Lu Yan's hand that was trying to stop her. Lu Yan stood up slowly and straightened her back. She looked at Linya without blinking. The word mom was too unfamiliar to Lu Yan because she hadn't called her that for many years. To her, although her mother was brain dead, it was no different from death. After all, her father hadn't found a way to revive her for many years. Therefore, the sudden revival of a dead person was an immeasurable blow to Lu Yan. Chapter 4275. Good. You still remember me? Linya smiled sincerely. If Huamin didn't know the truth, Linya wouldn't have believed her. She would have been fooled by Linya. However, Lu Yan didn't know that Linya wasn't her mother, the clone was. Only Huamin knew this, but she couldn't tell him. After all, Linya had threatened her before. She couldn't risk Lu Yan being killed by the explosion. She just looked at her quietly. No, you're not Mom. Mom's dead. She's dead. She's in Iceland. Yan, it's me. If you don't believe me, you can ask your sister. Linya pointed at Huamin. Lu Yan looked at Huamin. To really my sister, not that psycho? Lu Yan couldn't accept the sudden turn of events. She even wondered if she was dead and if all of this was just her hallucination. Huamin nodded. Yan, it's real. Sister, you didn't have a miscarriage? Lu Yan found the key point. She looked at Huamin's big belly. I didn't. That monster lied to me. I knew you were fine and the baby was fine. Oh my God. If my brother-in-law knew, he would be so happy. At this moment, Lu Yan realized that the sister in front of her was real. So, she rushed over and hugged Huamin. She greedily smelled Huamin's unique body fragrance. That's right, this was definitely his older sister. That monster had a very strange smell on it, and it didn't smell like his older sister. After knowing that it was her sister, Lu Yan hugged her tightly. Huamin had mixed feelings. He hugged Lu Yan back. He touched her head. Seeing Lu Yan wake up from the crystal coffin made him happier than anything else. Yan, you scared me to death. I'm fine. I'm lucky. I won't die. The fortune teller said I can live to 100 years old. After the two sisters caught up, Lu Yan turned to look at Linya. Is that really? Lu Yan believed her sister's words. Therefore, Huamin's answer at this moment was very important. Threatened by Linya, Huamin had to lie. Besides, she knew Lu Yan was smart. He didn't dare to show any abnormal emotions. He was afraid that Xiao Yan would find out and be in danger. Therefore, Huamin could only go against his conscience and nod. Yes. That is indeed. Huamin felt a little disgusted when he blurted out those two words. Linya smiled in satisfaction. Mom? But isn't she in Iceland? How could she? It's a long story. Let's not talk about it. I just performed surgery on you. Do you feel any discomfort? Linya's tone was filled with concern. She really sounded like a mother concerned about her daughter. Hearing Linya's words, Lu Yan immediately moved her body. She clearly remembered that she had been severely injured by that perverted person who resembled her elder sister. She had been pummeled to the point where she was on the verge of falling apart. That perverted woman wasn't a normal human at all. Her speed and strength were very, very fast. Not many people in the world could beat Lu Yan like that. She was one of them. It showed how explosive her strength was. Hearing Linya's words, Lu Yan jumped on the spot. She moved a lot. However, miraculously, it didn't hurt anymore. I'm really fine now. Oh my God, I really don't hurt at all. How did you do it? Lu Yan looked at Linya curiously. Chapter 4276. However, Linya smiled calmly. Because I'm the greatest doctor of medicine, Linya. Right. I forgot that Mom is a great doctor. Lu Yan had accepted Linya as her mother and was very happy. Huamin just smiled and didn't say anything. Mom, why are you here? Where is this place? This is our home. Linya interrupted. Lu Yan was confused. Let's go. I'll take you to see the person you want to see the most. Wait. Lu Yan stood motionless. What's wrong, Yan? Linya smiled patiently. Can I make a call? Lu Yen said. To? Linya asked. To Xiao Fei. Oh, your little boyfriend? Linya seemed to know Xiao Fei. Lu Yan's cheeks flushed slightly. He'll be worried sick if he can't find me. I'll tell him. Don't worry. Let's eat first. Mom, let me make a call. Just one. I just need to say a few words. It was obvious that Lu Yen cared about Xiao Fei a lot. At such an important moment, she didn't let the surprise get to her head. She even remembered to call Xiao Fei. If Xiao Fei knew how important he was to Lu Yen, he'd be overjoyed. Huamin didn't say anything. She knew Linya wouldn't agree. Linya wouldn't let them contact the outside world. It was up to Linya to persuade Lu Yen. Sure enough, Linya sighed slightly after hearing Lu Yan's words. Mom, what's wrong? Is there a problem? Yen, to tell you the truth, we're in a dangerous situation. A group of people is looking for you and your sister. I took the risk to take you here because it's dangerous outside. If you contact the outside world, our last stronghold will be exposed. Huh? Is that so? Who wants to catch us? Is it that big psycho Ian? Many people want to catch you. You know what's going on over the years. Linya smiled mysteriously and didn't say much. Lu Yen was so smart that the more she talked, the more suspicious she would be. His words were vague, but Lu Yen believed him without a doubt. Alright, Mom, I got it. I won't call anymore. Very good, good girl. You two come with me. I want to bring you to eat the most sumptuous dinner. With that, Huamin and Lu Yen walked behind Linya. Following her, they passed through white corridors and maze-like rooms. Lu Yen had just woken up and was pleasantly surprised. She even joked with her sister from time to time and naughtily touched Huamin's belly. Huamin's every step was very heavy. She knew that her father was also here. Linya had brought her, Lu Yen, and their dad here. What was his ultimate goal? What was a red demon? There were so many mysteries that Huamin really wanted to solve them all at once. Finally, Linya stopped in a restaurant. It was decorated in a Nordic style and the restaurant was filled with ivory ornaments. It looked extremely expensive and luxurious. Lu Yen was dumbfounded. She had seen so many treasures, but she had never seen so many precious ivory ornaments at once. There were all kinds of decorations carved out of ivory here. Then, on the rectangular table, there was a dazzling array of food and fruits. There were many seafood dishes that Huamin liked, dumplings that Lu Yen liked, sauced beef, and turbot. It was mostly Chinese food that seemed to be specially prepared for them. I'm so hungry. Can I eat now? Lu Yen turned around and asked Linya. Chapter 4277. Linya smiled slightly. Not yet, baby. Lu Yen was puzzled. Because there's an important person coming, huh? There's an important person? Lu Yen didn't react for a moment. At this moment, hearing footsteps, everyone turned their heads. They saw Professor Lu standing at the door in a dark blue striped suit. With his white hair and silver-rimmed glasses, he looked like an elegant scholar. Damn it, Dad? Lu Yen was stunned. Huamin was also very touched. Her voice was lower than Lu Yan's, but Professor Lu still heard her. Dad, she said. Yeah, you're all here. It's so good. This is a scene I've imagined countless times in my life. At this moment, Professor Lu burst into tears. His eyes couldn't stop tearing up. He lowered his head and took off his glasses. Lu Yen ran over. She pinched her father's face with both hands. Wow, you're indeed my father. It's really like this. The flesh is loose and hasn't changed after all these years. Stupid girl, let go. It hurts. Ha, but I love you. It's so good to see you. Lu Yen hadn't seen her father for a long time, so she was very excited to see him here. She even wanted to jump up and down. Min? Professor Lu looked at his eldest daughter. Dad? Huamin couldn't help but walk over and give his father a big hug. Mom, do you have a cell phone? This moment should be recorded. It's a classic reunion of the century. I never dared to think that such a day would really come. Am I dreaming? Lu Yen kept pinching herself and didn't let go until she felt the pain. She looked like a fool. She wasn't the demoness Lu Yen they usually saw. We don't have a cell phone because we have to block the signal. But we have a camera. Then Linya turned around and shouted, Messiah. Come in with a camera. Messiah walked in respectfully with a black SLR camera in her hand. Take pictures for us, Linya ordered domineeringly. Yes. Then, Linya slowly walked over to Professor Lu. She rested her head on Professor Lu's shoulder like a little bird. It was obvious that they were a loving couple. Unbeknownst to them, Lu Yen held Linya's hand intimately. Huamin chose to stand on his father's side. The couple, their 2 daughters, and the baby in Huamin's belly. Just like that, a family portrait of the century was produced. This DSR has the function of a Polaroid. After taking a picture, it will immediately become clear, and the picture quality is very good. Messiah, make 3 of them, Linya ordered. Mom, you're wrong. There are 4 of us. Lu Yen smiled. I don't need it. You 3 can have it. Why don't you want it? Lu Yen was confused. Because all of you are enough in my heart. Lin Ya's hypocrisy made people speechless. Huamin didn't want to expose himself and put Lu Yen in danger, so he lowered his head and didn't look at Lin Ya's face to prevent himself from exposing her lie. Mom, I love you. You're so nice. Lu Yen was very touched and gave Linya a big hug. However, he felt something very strange. Linya's body was very cold. Your hand is frighteningly cold. Lu Yen looked down at Linya curiously. Chapter 4278. Yen, your mom has always had hypothermia. It got worse after she gave birth to you. Professor Lu walked over and held Linya's hands to warm her up. Oh, Dad, you're so romantic. You're no longer the block of wood in the lab. Lu Yen teased him. Let's eat. Huamian couldn't bear to see such a scene, so she took the initiative to find a seat. Sis, I'll sit next to you. Lu Yen put her arms around Huamin's neck intimately. Okay. Huamin looked at Lu Yen lovingly. It was a love that couldn't be hidden. She didn't care if Lu Yen was a clone or who gave birth to her. Anyway, Lu Yen was Huamin's biological sister. Old Lu, let's sit down. Linya subtly pulled her hand back from Professor Lu's hand. Then, the 4 of them sat down. Messiah put the photos on each of their desks. Lu Yen held the photos and couldn't put them down. She commented, Mom is very photogenic and beautiful. Dad finally looks like a university professor. Sis, you're very pretty, but your belly is too big. Bad reviews. Ha, I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. Huamin tilted his head and looked at Lu Yen with a complicated expression. She had never seen Yen so happy before. She was like a child, so happy that she didn't know what to do. Her words and actions were childish, and she had lost her ability to think and judge. Maybe it was because they were the closest people to Lu Yen that she didn't have her guard up. Professor Lu held the photos with love in his eyes. Yaya, you're still so young. I'm old. Who said so? You're not old. In my heart, you'll always be the same as when I first saw you in Bali. Linya was good at saying beautiful and sweet words. Professor Lu smiled gently and didn't say anything. Sis, you're acting strange today? Why aren't you talking? Are you not feeling well? Lu Yen finally noticed that her sister was acting strange today. Huamin hurriedly explained, my bag is already 3 days past the due date, but there's still no news. I'm very worried. Aya, I thought it was something serious. This is so simple. Dad, you are the best doctors in the world. Quick, take a look at sister. Pregnant women naturally have to wait until the melon is ripe to give birth. It's very normal. It's also very normal that it doesn't work. Some children even take more than 10 days. Linya smiled. Xiaoya is right. You two are like husband and wife. Lu Yen chuckled. Huamin just smiled and didn't say anything. Mom, I'm starving. Can we eat now? Sure. Hold on. Huamin was afraid that Linya would do something to the food, so he stopped Lu Yen from eating. What's wrong? Sis, why are you so flustered today? I'm just afraid that someone might harm us. Let's check it out first. I'm good at this. Let me do it. Lu Yen took off a string of silver jewelry from her wrist. Then she tried it on the food one by one, but it didn't work. It's fine. My baby is very effective, Lu Yen said. Mian, you're too nervous. How can it be so easy for someone to tamper with the food on my turf? Hurry up and eat. Everyone must be starving. Linya glanced at Huamin and smiled mysteriously. Then they all picked up their chopsticks and started eating. Mom, do you know that my sister has already given birth to 2 cute twins? You're already a grandmother. You're the most beautiful grandmother in the world. Lu Yen praised her from the bottom of her heart. She really liked her mother, because the motherly love that she had been missing was everything that she had longed for in the depths of her soul. Chapter 4279. Huamin's heart ached when he heard that. She lowered her head even more. Yeah, I heard. If I have the chance, I must meet Mian's 2 cute babies. Linya smiled. Pudding and Little Bean are very cute. Mian is lucky to have such good children. It was Professor Lu who said this. It was obvious that he loved his daughter and granddaughters very much. Come on, let's eat first. Our Yen is hungry. Linya smiled and picked up a crab for Lu Yen. Then she picked up one for Huamin. Thank you, Mom. Lu Yen smiled like a flower. Thank you. Huamin only said 2 words and didn't say the word, Mom. Old Lu, come on, eat more. Linya picked up another crab for Professor Lu. Touched, Professor Lu looked at Linya. How many years have I been waiting for this day? I've been waiting for so long. Tears glistened in the professor's eyes. Dad, at this moment, I feel very happy. Pa, I feel like I'm flying. Lu Yen said. Min, what about you? The professor looked at Huamin. I'm also very happy. Huamin looked at his father and said sincerely. Regardless of what would happen in the future, Huamian truly felt blessed to be able to see her father and Yen in this complicated situation. However, Huamin knew that this happiness was short-lived and illusory. It was because Linya had an ulterior motive for organizing this dinner party. It wasn't to find happiness as a family, but Huamin had been wondering if his father had noticed something was wrong after living with Linya for so long. However, during the meal, the professor didn't seem to notice anything wrong. He looked at Linya with love in his eyes. Lu Yen had just woken up and was full of energy. She was in a state of excitement. Therefore, not only was she full, but she also kept talking to her mother and father. After dinner, while Lu Yen was talking to the professor, Huamian took the opportunity to talk to Lu Yen. In the corner, Linya lowered her head and said to Huamin, "You can talk to your father and ask about the red demon." All right. Huamin's heart was heavy. Cheer up. Don't give yourself away. You know Lu Yan's life is still in my hands. Linya's words might have completely provoked Huamin. She raised her head and glared at her. She lowered her voice and said, "Even if Xiaoyan isn't your biological daughter, what about Daddy? He's your husband after all. He's lived with you for a few years. Don't you have any feelings for him?" Linya didn't say anything, but the look in her eyes was complicated. I don't know what red demon is, but I know that in this world, nothing can compare to family. Linya, you don't deserve Daddy's love. Not at all. With that, Huamin turned around coldly. Then he walked over. You came at the right time. Daddy was discussing with me what gift we should give when the baby in your belly comes out. I don't want the gift. I'm happy as long as you guys are fine. Huamin smiled, but it was a forced smile. Dad, can you come with me? I have something to tell you. Sis, what's the matter? Why are you hiding it from me? I'm not hiding it from you. It's just that I can't say it in front of so many people. Anyway, you won't be interested in some medical secrets. Stop fooling around. Go and eat some fruit. Huamin patted Lu Yan's head lovingly. Then, Lu Yan obediently ran over to eat the fruit. In this world, the only person who could make Lu Yan so obedient was Huamin. Chapter 4280. The professor followed Huamin to the side. What's wrong, Mian? Dad, do you believe me? What are you asking? You child, Dad, just tell me, Do you believe me or not? Of course I believe you, Mian. Although you didn't grow up by my side all these years and didn't spend as much time with me and Yen, you're both my daughters. You're all the same. My love for you will never decrease. You don't have to doubt it. I'm not doubting you, Dad. I just want to confirm something with you. What? Huamin was silent for a long time before speaking in a low voice. Dad, do you know where the red demon is? Hearing the words red demon, the professor's expression changed. It was a huge contrast from before. Mian, who told you that? It's what Qin Chu and I have always wanted. Huamin could only lie. After all, he couldn't expose Linya. Then tell me, how did you and Chu know about the red demon? Dad, don't ask about this yet. If you believe me, please tell me where the red demon is. Mian, what do you want the red demon for? The professor asked seriously. I have a use for it. Did someone threaten you? Mian, why aren't you telling me the truth? The professor was a little angry. Huamin's eyes were obviously evasive. He was hiding something. But when he asked her, she refused to tell him. In this world, there were very few people who knew the words red demon. Lu Yen knew, but she had never mentioned it. However, Mian took the initiative to mention it. What was this? Dad, don't ask. If you believe me, please tell me. Mian, I believe you, but I can't tell you about the red demon. I don't want to drag you and Yen into this. Really, I don't want to. Dad, go to your work. I see that you've been busy all night. You must be tired. The professor did not give Huamin a chance to speak. He directly told Huamin that he was tired and shut him up. Huamin knew that since Linya wanted it so much but his father refused to tell him, it must be something very mysterious and important. Huamin walked back dejectedly, looking exhausted. Messiah, take Mian home first. She's pregnant and must be tired. Yes, my lord. It seemed that Linya felt that Huamin didn't succeed and didn't want to waste any more time. Mom, where are you sending sister back to? I want to sleep with sister too. Lu Yen was still immersed in the happiness of the family of 4. Your sister is pregnant and gets tired easily. Let her rest first. You and your father stay. We'll eat some fruits, drink some flower tea and chat. Ha, good. I love tea the most. Lu Yen thought Linya's suggestion was good. Huamin looked at Lu Yen and his father with a complicated expression before he was taken away by Messiah. After walking out, Huamin finally stopped pretending. His face was gloomy. Miss Mian. Messiah looked like she had something to say. Messiah, tell your master that I really asked, but my dad obviously didn't want to tell me. Even if I asked, he wouldn't tell me. There's nothing I can do. Okay, I'll tell my lord. Messiah, yeah. Do you know what the red demon is? Huamin wanted to reveal some information about this mysterious thing. As Linya's confidant, Messiah might know. Chapter 4281. I'm sorry, Miss Mian. I don't know. Huamin was a little disappointed. Messiah obviously wouldn't tell him even if she knew. In this way, Huamin was even more curious about the red demon. In Sea City, it was a quiet night. After Qin Chu was busy in the study for a while, his phone suddenly rang. It was a video call from Qin Ning's phone. After picking it up, he immediately heard Little Bean's childish voice. Good evening, Hee. Good evening. Comrade Old Qin, are you working overtime in the study again? Looking at the decorations in the study, Little Bean immediately recognized him. Yeah, I'm working hard to save money for you and your sister's dowry. Qin Chu actually knew how to joke. What? Dowry? Please. I don't want it. Comrade Old Qin, you're too rich. If I work hard to save it, my sister and I won't be able to get married. The boy who marries us in the future will be under great pressure. Wouldn't he be so outstanding that people will say that he relied on his wife's family to get to where he is? Why don't you just say that you're worried about Boyuan's reputation? Qin Chu smiled. Comrade Old Qin, you're being naughty again. Little Bean teased her daddy for a while. Then she reluctantly gave the phone to her sister. As soon as Little Bean came over, the atmosphere changed. Daddy, have you had dinner? Don't stay up all night. It's not good for your health. Okay, I'll listen to you. Is the company still busy recently? After Auntie left, you're even more short-handed, right? It's good. Your grandma is a little better, and your uncle is back to help me. Qin Chu mentioned Jixin. What about my shares? I've been managing them. The total assets haven't changed much. I make about 1,000,000 yuan a day. Good job, Daddy. I love you, Little Bean confessed shyly. How are you? Where are you? We're in Los Angeles. We went to see second grandpa first. He was so happy and bought us a lot of things, food, toys, and a lot of money. Yes, our family is rich. Qin Chu smiled. My sister and I are very happy. Auntie and Uncle Tang have taken good care of us. Hey, Pudding, shouldn't you call me Uncle now? Tang Chuan said unhappily. I won't call you that unless you pay me to change my name. Io, she's so young and yet she's learned how to extort people. Brother-in-law, take care of your daughter, Tang Chuan complained. At this time, Qin Ning grabbed the phone. Brother, why do I feel like you've lost weight these few days? Is there? When Qin Chu heard Qin Ning's words, he unconsciously touched his handsome face. Did you eat too little? You should eat more. You'll look more handsome when you're fatter. Yes, I will definitely eat more. Seeing his daughters having so much fun, Qin Chu finally felt a sense of comfort. Daddy, did Grandpa and Grandma say anything? Did they miss us? Little Bean shouted from behind. That's impossible. Old Qin, don't lie. If you lie, you'll be eaten by the big bad wolf, Little Bean said. They really didn't say they missed you. That's impossible. Let's not talk about my sister for now. I'm so cute and have such a high status in the family. Grandpa and Grandma will definitely miss me when I go out. Your grandparents are on the plane. You'll see them in less than 24 hours. They came to Los Angeles too? Yeah. That's awesome. Ha. What a surprise. Little Bean jumped with joy when she heard that her grandparents were coming. Daddy, where's Mommy? Tell her to come and talk to her. Little Bean wasn't sure about the situation, so she asked to see Huamin. Chapter 4282. Just as they were talking, the door to the study was pushed open. Huamin walked in wearing a translucent silk nightgown with her long hair. She held a cup of coffee in her hand and walked in flirtatiously. But, is Mommy here? Hearing the sound, Little Bean came over. Daddy has something to do. Talk to you later. Qin Chu said hurriedly and hung up the phone without hesitation. Honey, who are you video chatting with? Qin Chu didn't say anything and looked at her with an unfriendly gaze. Is it the babies? Speaking of which, you didn't discuss it with me when they suddenly went on a trip. Even if you're not happy about our trip to Japan, you don't have to take it out on the kids. You're thinking too much. I won't take it out on my own daughters, Qin Chu replied coldly. Come on, have some coffee. It's your favorite. Huamin placed the coffee on Qin Chu's desk. She remembered this when she shared her memories with Huamin. In the past, when Qin Chu was working overtime in the study, Huamin would make him a cup of coffee to refresh him. But Qin Chu wasn't so easy to fool. She didn't expect this. I don't drink coffee anymore. You don't have to make it for me anymore. What's wrong? You seem to have a problem with me recently. With that, Huamin walked over with a smile and reached out to wrap her arms around Qin Chu's neck. However, she was directly pushed away by him. Very mercilessly. Honey, what are you doing? I don't even have the right to touch you now? Huamin smiled calmly. Qin Chu looked up, glanced at her, and said word by word, Then when you went to see Su Yu in private, did you think of me as your husband? You wore Su Yu's down jacket on the road, ate with Su Yu in a restaurant, complained to Su Yu about your unhappy marriage, and even planned a divorce. Did you think of me as your husband? Did Su Yu tell you this? Do I need to? Then you followed me? Do you think I have that much free time? Qin Chu, tell me, how do you know all this? She asked. Why don't you answer me first? Is it true? Did you do it? Huamin, what? You can't speak now. Weren't you just now? Qin Chu, if you think we're no longer in love, you can divorce me. I don't want your assets. Don't worry. Don't even think about it. I won't divorce you even if you beat me to death. Of course, Qin Chu wouldn't divorce her. He wouldn't let this psycho woman ruin his and Huamin's hard-won happy life. Then do you want to torture me to death? You won't divorce me, but you're ignoring me. Don't forget that I'm a normal woman. I have needs too. Is this something a woman like you should say? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with women? What era is it now? Qin Chu, are you a man with terminal chauvinism? Huamin's voice was a little too loud and alerted the servants in the house. Uncle Li, who had never interfered with their lives, couldn't help but go upstairs. Sir Madam, what's wrong? Huamin didn't say anything. Qin Chu glanced at Uncle Li. It's nothing, Uncle Li. You guys go and rest. Sir, Madam, you can talk things over. Couples fight at the head of the bed and make up at the end. There's no obstacle that can't be overcome, and there's no overnight grudge. After all, Uncle Li was an elder. As the butler, he didn't want to see the master and mistress of the house fight. Chapter 4283. Haha, I can't be bothered to argue with you. With that, Huamin turned around and left. Where are you going? I'm going out for supper. Huamin smiled mysteriously and went back to her bedroom to change her clothes. Then, she picked up her Hermes bag, which was worth hundreds of thousands, and drove away in her family's Ferrari. Looking at her back, Qin Chu felt a little regretful. Why did he provoke her just now? What good did it do him? She said she was going out for supper. Could it be? Thinking of this, Qin Chu was a little anxious. He immediately called Gao Ran. What's the situation? Where are you? The city bureau. Send more people to patrol tonight. No, you can't do this. Old Gao, go find Huamin and follow her car. Wherever she goes, have your people follow. Also, don't let her know that you're following her deliberately. What's wrong? Did you two have a fight? I'm not sure yet. Anyway, keep an eye on Huamin. She just drove out in a red Ferrari. The license plate is NE 8699. Okay. After hanging up, Gao Ran was still talking to himself. When did we police become tools to protect his wife? But with their close relationship, he still had to help. Gao Ran instructed a young policeman beside him. Little son, go and check where the license plate is NE 8699. Okay, Chief Gao. After a while, the young policeman quickly came back and replied, I found it, Chief Gao. It's at Night Bar. Night Bar? What's Huamin doing in such a trashy place? Isn't that a gay bar? Gao Ran was slightly surprised. What are your orders, Chief Gao? Tell little Wang and the others to get ready and come with me. Okay. Then, Gao Ran led 7 or 8 police officers to the night bar in a mighty manner. It was common for the police to investigate bars. After all, they often received reports from the public. Some bars dealt in drug pins, some dealt in pornography, some fought, and some even committed murder and arson. Therefore, when they entered, the boss immediately rushed up to them. He kept stuffing money into Gao Ran's hands. You don't have to be afraid. It's just a routine check. Yes. Thank you for coming, Chief Gao. Please take a seat. You guys look around. Gao Ran commanded his subordinates. Then, he ignored the bar owner and headed straight for Huamin, who was sitting in a booth on the 2nd floor. Huamin sat there alone and ordered a very expensive wine. She seemed to still be paying attention to tonight's prey. However, Gao Ran patted her shoulders so hard that she almost turned around and slapped him. In the Doomsday Death God, no man dared to be so rude to her. But when he turned around and saw that it was Gao Ran, he couldn't get angry. Because this was Huamin's friend. Mian, are you drinking alone? Gao Ran asked. Oh Gao, why are you here? She clearly hated Gao Ran, but she still pretended to be familiar with him. Yes, I received a report that there's an illegal transaction here, so I came to take a look. But why are you drinking here? This is a famous gay bar. I was just curious and wanted to take a look. Huamin continued to smile. Lingling said that you never come to gay bars like this before. Why are you so interested today? My child isn't home, and my husband is lonely. I'm so depressed. I have nowhere to go. Huamin began to pretend to be pitiful. Chapter 4284. Did you two fight? Yeah. No way. I thought you two would never fight in your life. How is that possible? Huamin deliberately smiled. She thought that Gao Ran would leave with his men after the inspection. Gao Ran, on the other hand, kept chatting with Huamian about trivial matters. He even forced her to try to recall some scenes from high school. Layla was almost on the verge of a breakdown. An hour passed. Gao Ran. Huamin, why did you choose Qin Chu when you were in school? Didn't you have a second choice? 2 hours passed. Gao Ran. Mian, do you think Wuyuan and the others can still be together when they grow up? 3 hours passed. Gao Ran. Mian, what do you think I should give Lingling on Valentine's Day? Finally, Huamin couldn't take it anymore. Gao Ran, don't you need to get off work? I told my colleagues to go back first. It's rare to see you here, so I wanted to catch up with you. I'm a little sleepy. I'll go back first. We'll continue another day. Okay, I'll drive you. Don't. I drove here myself. I can do it. I'll drive you. Public security has been chaotic recently. Let me tell you, don't you know that there have been rumors about vampires? Vampires? At the mention of vampires, Huamin laughed. These terrifying and ignorant humans, yeah, several people have died. The first hospital has been in trouble several times. Now people are panicking and scolding us police officers for being useless. But we really did our best, okay? Gao Ran looked helpless. Yeah, I believe you'll catch the murderer. Huamian had a mocking smile on her face when she said this. However, Gao Ran didn't care. After all, he had never doubted such a good friend. Anyway, it's not safe at night. I'm afraid that psychopathic murderer will target you. I'll drive you back. That works too. Seeing that Gao Ran was going to take the initiative to send her, Layla suddenly had an idea. Wouldn't it be more fun to kill Gao Ran on the way? Would these people be sad? However, she had just thought of this. She then heard Gao Ran say, I just sent Chu a WeChat message saying that we'll be home soon. He'll be waiting for us at home for tea. I must play a game of chess with him before we leave. Sure. Hearing this, Huamin gave up on the idea. After all, if something happened, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. She had a belly full of anger, and was then sent back by Gao Ran. Gao Ran's interest was greatly piqued as he played a few rounds of chess with Qin Chu. The two of them also had some supper and drank some beer. Then, Qin Chu personally drove Gao Ran back. However, when he was driving back, he heard that there was a murder near the Southern Development Zone. It was very close to South Hill Manor. It seemed that after watching that psychopathic woman for the whole night, she still took advantage of him to send Gao Ran back. She had gone out to do evil, and her methods were still very cruel. It was a homeless man who was killed, and his heart was still missing. Then, his chest felt as if it had been torn apart by a beast, and all the blood in his body dried up. The death was extremely tragic. Gao Ran had drunk and was about to go home to rest, but not long after he got home, the city bureau called. He went out to investigate the case overnight. When Qin Chu returned home, Huamin was wearing a nightgown and sitting in the living room on the first floor, watching TV. Qin Chu glanced at the TV. It was a very popular American drama called The Vampire Diaries. Chapter 4285. Honey, you're back? Huamin looked at Qin Chu with a smile. However, this smile made Qin Chu extremely annoyed. Did you go out? Qin Chu didn't answer her question. No, the car didn't even move. If you don't believe me, you can check the surveillance records. I didn't go out after Gao Ran drove me home. Oh really? What's wrong? Did something happen? She pretended not to know. Someone died again. Really? That's scary. She pretended to be shocked and scared and covered her mouth. Her expression was very pretentious. At least in Qin Chu's eyes, everything she did was pretentious. You're scared? You're a doctor. Are you scared of dead people? Qin Chu exposed her mercilessly. Honey, even if I'm a doctor, I'm still a little girl. How can I not be scared? Gao Ran said that the murderer has been very rampant recently. He's been committing crimes frequently and many people have died. A lot of people are saying that he's a vampire or something. A vampire? Of course not. But he's a psychopath. What do you think? Qin Chu looked into Huamin's eyes and questioned her word by word. Yeah, he must be a psychopath to kill someone so cruelly. She actually agreed shamelessly. People like him will definitely get retribution, right? Qin Chu asked her meaningfully. I don't think so. I heard that good people don't live long, while bad people don't live long. Huamin smiled. Gao Ran can't do anything to that psychopath. I can. Qin Chu seemed to have a provocative look in his eyes. Honey, you're not going to help solve the case, are you? I'm not interested in solving the case, but if I catch that psychopath, I won't be soft-hearted. Such a cruel scumbag doesn't deserve to be called a human. I'm willing to enforce justice on behalf of God. Hubby, when did you become so righteous? Huamin seemed to be making fun of Qin Chu, just like how many cruel and unscrupulous people would scold other people for doing good deeds. Carrying out a moral abduction and then scolding nonstop. What about you? When did Dr. Hua become so unsympathetic? Qin Chu asked. I'm not. I sympathize with the people who died, but there's nothing I can do. Who asked them to be so unlucky? I'm scared too. It's not a good thing for something like this to happen to anyone, but it's not our personal experience after all. What do you think? Very good, Dr. Hua. Go to bed early. If possible, I really don't want you to go out at night. Qin Chu knew that she must be the culprit. However, he did not expect her to move so quickly. It took him less than 40 minutes to drive Gao Ran to the hospital, including the drive back. However, this woman took advantage of the gap in the video surveillance. She didn't drive her car from the garage or call a taxi. She came and went as she pleased without anyone noticing. Qin Chu was surprised by her ferocious murder. Although he always knew that she had some inhuman abilities, but he had never seen it with his own eyes, so he couldn't imagine it. In the study, Qin Chu watched the surveillance video over and over again. He couldn't find any loopholes. This reminded him of how Jingda avoided all the surveillance cameras and appeared in front of Jixin in a strange way. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that they were on the same page. Perhaps this woman was much more powerful and difficult to deal with than Jingda. Therefore, after sending the twins away, Qin Chu sent his parents away. He wanted to have a decisive battle with this monster, and there was no way out. Chapter 4286. Ever since he found out that this was an imposter, Qin Chu hadn't slept much. The illness he had in the United States had miraculously returned. The torment, pain, and paranoia of losing Huamian almost broke his heart, but he held on with all his might. After watching the video, he couldn't sleep. Every night he would miss Huamin. There were more than 5,000 photos on his phone, all of them of her and the children. He looked at them over and over again. At 1:30 a.m., Qin Chu got up and drove away from South Hill Manor. At the first hospital, perhaps because of the continuous deaths, there were fewer people at the first hospital. Qin Chu went straight to Bella's ward. His mother-in-law had been discharged and returned home. Qin Chu found a reliable nanny and bodyguard to protect her. Jixin loved his wife very much. Every day after work, he would come to the hospital to take care of Bella. Bella had been in a coma for a long time. If it weren't for Qin Chu's surgery, Bella would have been a pile of ashes. Brother-in-law, why are you here? Seeing Qin Chu, Jixin stood up. You're still awake? Qin Chu thought that Jixin would be asleep at this time. No, I can't sleep. Every night, I hope that my wife will wake up. Looking at Bella on the hospital bed, Jixin was very sad. Qin Chu patted his shoulder. Don't worry, Bella will wake up. She loves you so much and this family so much. I know. I will wait for her, for sure. By the way, brother-in-law, why are you here so late? Did something happen? Jixin looked at Qin Chu nervously. No, don't be nervous. I just couldn't sleep, so I came out for a walk. Where's sis? Jixin asked. She is asleep, Qin lied. It was a white lie. Pudding and Little Bean have arrived in the States, right? Yes, they are. I saw them post on WeChat and said that they would bring me a gift. Speaking of his nieces, Jixin doted on them. Jixin, I have something to ask you. Brother-in-law, go ahead. Jixin was wearing a white shirt, which was his work attire. He was actually a little old-fashioned and wasn't very humorous. Especially after he started working at GK, he had matured a lot. Therefore, when he spoke to Qin, he was very serious. It was just like how they usually behaved in the company, just like how a subordinate interacted with a superior. You don't have to be so nervous. This isn't the company, and I want to ask about our family's private matters. Qin patted Jixin's shoulder again to calm him down. Jixin smiled. The two men sat on the sofa and looked at each other. Qin quietly turned on the anti-eavesdropping mobile device in the pocket of his coat. It was very secretive. Brother-in-law, go ahead and ask. I will definitely tell you everything I know. Have you noticed that Jingda? Oh no, Uncle Jing is afraid of anything since he came back? Qin asked. Afraid of what? Jixin was confused. You can say that he hates it, or is he resistant to it? Think about it carefully. Have you noticed it since Uncle Jing came back? Oh, now that you mention it, I do have one. Dad is much more timid now that he's back. Hearing Qin's words, Jixin suddenly remembered. What is he afraid of? Qin seemed to have caught the key point and asked. Dogs. Dad hates dogs this time. He doesn't like puppies either. Once, the neighbor's Tibetan Mastiff ran out and scared him. Come on, anyone would be scared of a dog like a Tibetan Mastiff, right? Qin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This brother-in-law of his was so silly and cute. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.